Hello and welcome back to the Theory of Five, Five for Five. I am Kelly Adkins and I'm here with author Chris Saraceno to talk about the third part, parenting. Now, Chris, you are a very proud father and grandfather. So what does being a parent mean to you?
Well, I have 4 children and 6 grandchildren, but I would tell you that I believe that being a parent is the greatest gift to society. If and when we teach, coach, facilitate, and care enough to make sure that our children can survive and thrive on their own. Can you imagine if every single parent in the world made sure their children can survive on their own and would be a gift to society and help other people grow?
What a great thing to envision, Chris. Now, in the Theory of Five, the book, you talk about how you should be able to find your mentors in each of these elements. So when it comes to parenting, who are your own mentors?
Well, I had a friend of mine. Her name is Evelyn Longsworth. I met her many years ago, and she was just such a wonderful parent. I could see how her children loved her, respected her, and they excelled in life, and they were thriving on their own. And her background was education, so she was absolutely my mentor when it came to teaching, coaching, guiding, and getting you to think about being a good parent. And then I would say my father, because he was the kindest, most humble person I've ever met in my life. Just a wonderful person.
So when you talked about both of your mentors, you mentioned the words kindness and love. So do you think that that's translated into how you parent? What would you classify as your parenting style?
Well, I think the most important thing is you have to love, that love and compassion has to be there. But there also needs to be rules and regulations. And the reason they need to know there's rules, regulations, and consequences in life is because when they become an adult, there's going to be consequences. What they need to understand is why you're doing this, because you love them, because you care about them. There also needs to be a little dash of patience and dedication and determination to be the best parent you possibly could.
Being the best parent that you possibly can be. So why would you encourage other people to think about how they're parenting and try to strive for that?
Well, as I said at the beginning, that it's a gift to society. I mean, you have children, they could change people's lives when they become adults. If they're thriving on their own and they could take care of themselves, imagine if everybody could take care of themselves and they wouldn't need people to take care of them or handouts, or they didn't have to go back to their mother or father. There's too many parents today that are taking care of their children when they should be worrying about taking care of themselves. And it should be the opposite. But I think that a society that could take care of themselves, then we could focus on the people that really need to be taken care of. And that's the elderly and the mentally and physically handicapped, the people that really need it versus that people that are very capable. And I look at that and say, a lot of that is the way they were raised, and they weren't taught to survive and thrive, and they weren't taught why it's so important to thrive on their own.
It sounds like to you, parenting is a quite selfless act. And again, once in the book of the Theory of Five, you talk about how these different elements can lead to your most prosperous and happy life and lifestyle. So what is that reward of being a successful parent like?
Well, I will tell you that, just thinking about my children and grandchildren, I look at it and say all the work I've done all these years, all the dedication that I've put in is well worth it, because you see, children and grandchildren taking care of themselves. It inspires you to be a better person, a better man, a better woman, a better person overall, because you have people that are looking up to you. And I believe it keeps you young too. When you want to stay young, you want to take care of yourself because you want to be around for them and you want to be a good model for them. So it's always good to have people that are counting on you, looking up to you, because it just makes you a better person overall when you do that.
Well, you heard it here first. Chris Saraceno says that there are rewards to being a successful parent, as well as that responsibility of leaving it back to your children. And stay tuned for our next part, the fourth part of the Theory of Five, Five for Five, where we will talk about how business and finance can impact your life and you can learn to prosper and be happy with it. Thanks for talking with me today, Chris.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I got a theory. It's a theory of five that makes you